Hey guys, Junji here, and welcome to the second part of my series for new players. Today, we're going to talk about everything under the character menu from a level 1 perspective. So, to even get to your character menu, simply press C. You can also go down to the bottom right of your screen, and you'll see there's 6 orange tabs. The first one says character. Click this, scroll up to character, and open that. And here you go, back to the character menu. Now, at the top here, it says different things: attributes, resistances, profile, classes, and currency. We're going to be going over every single one of these and everything under them, so you don't have to worry about a single thing. So under the attributes section, you'll notice you have your HP, your MP, and your TP. HP is how much health you have. If this reaches 0, you die. MP is for your magic, so more of this you have, the more spells you can cast. And TP is just like MP, but for physical DPS people. So if you reach 0 on this, you can't cast any more abilities. Now let's get straight to attributes. I'm going to read off each of these attributes really quickly and then tell you which class uses each of these. So the first one is strength. This affects physical melee damage as well as damage prevented by parrying and blocking. Dexterity affects physical range damage as well as parry and block rates. Vitality affects maximum HP. Intelligence affects magic potency. Mind affects healing magic potency. And piety affects maximum MP. Now, you'll actually get bonus attribute points that you can add to any one of these attributes you choose. You'll get 30 in total by the time you reach 50, and you don't even start receiving bonus attribute points until around level 10, as seen here. This is what it will look like once you reach level 10. So if you're curious what this yellow button is, that's your bonus attribute points. If you're a Lancer or a Pugilist, you're going to want to put all 30 points into Strength. Now, if you're an Archer, however, you're going to want to put all of your attribute points into Dexterity because this affects your ranged damage. If you're a Marauder or Gladiator, you're going to want to put all of your attribute points into Vitality because you're a tank. This way you can take more hits and not die as quickly. If you're a Thaumaturg or a DPS Arcanist, you're going to put all of your points into Intelligence. This way, all of your magic damage will hit as hard as it possibly can. Now, if you're a Conjurer or a Healing Arcanist, you're going to want to put all of your points into Mind. This way, you'll be able to heal for as much as possible. However, there are advanced tactics that I don't always highly suggest. I have heard of Paladins putting all their points into Dexterity to increase their parry and block rate, so they can parry and block more frequently. After extensive testing, this doesn't nearly work as well in-game as it does on paper. So I highly suggest just putting all of your points into Vitality if you're a Marauder or a Gladiator. Also, I've heard that at in-game, Piety, which increases the maximum amount of MP you have, is extremely useful for Thaumaturgs, which will turn into a Black Mage. This is because they'll be able to cast more spells in a row instead of having to switch to their mana regeneration spells. Those are just some advanced tactics I've heard from other players around the world. Now, next up is offensive properties. This is accuracy, critical hit rate, and determination. The more accuracy you have, higher chance you'll have of actually hitting the opponent you're attacking. Now, this doesn't really matter too much until end game, so don't worry about it. Now, critical hit rate is actually really nice. This affects the rate at which your physical and magic attacks deal critical damage or restores critical health. The higher this value, the higher the frequency at which your hits will be critical. And the final one is determination. This is a really weird stat because this affects the amount of damage dealt by both physical and magical attacks, as well as the amount of HP restored by healing spells. This also affects the auto attack potency. So the more of this you have, the more you'll heal for, and the more you'll hit for. Next up is physical properties. This is your attack power and skill speed. Simply, the more attack power you have, the harder you'll hit, and the more skill speed you have, the faster you can actually use your skills. And the final piece on the left side is gear and average item level. Now, if we take a look over here under your body, you'll see that there's many different sections. If you look directly in the middle of the screen, it'll say item level 1. This is the item level, not the level at which you can use this gear. That's 2 more down under the green section where it says all classes and level 1. That level 1 is actually what level this gear piece is. So if this was a level 10, we couldn't wear it because we're currently a level 1. Now, item level goes up to eye level 95 in this game, so that means a level 50, which is max level, can actually wear eye level 90 equipment. Also, you can find your average item level directly above your character on the right side. These blue numbers right here will tell you your average item level as well. Currently ours is 0 because, well, we're using level 1 stuff and not all of our slots are filled. Also, under this section, you'll notice that every single slot has a definition. This one is for your main hand, your head, your body, your hands, and so forth. The only one you need to know about that you probably don't know right now is what this soul crystal is. This last section on the bottom right is actually for your job. Currently, we're a pugilist, which is a class. At level 30, you'll actually get a quest that allows you to go get your job, which will give you your soul crystal. By equipping this soul crystal, that will actually equip your job and also increase your stats. For now, don't worry about it. That's just some information that you need to know for later. Next up is elemental resistances. Don't worry about this section. This section is completely worthless and will not help you at all. Next is defensive properties. This has your defense, your parry, and your magic defense. The more defense you have, the less damage you'll take by physical attacks. The more parry rate you have, and the higher your parry rate is, the more often you'll parry attacks. Now, this will not parry an entire attack, but only a partial attack. Meaning, say if I get hit for 100 and I parry 20% of that attack, I actually will only be hit for 80 damage. As for magic defense, this affects the amount of damage taken by magic attacks. The more of this you have, the less magic attacks will hit you for. And the last part of this area is mental properties. There's attack magic potency, healing magic potency, and spell speed. The more attack magic potency you have, the harder your magic attacks will hit. The more healing magic potency you have, the harder your heals will hit. And for spell speed, this actually will increase how quickly you can cast your spells and how quickly your spells will be back up to cast. This is very, very good skill for all magic users, so the more of this you can get, the better. That about does it for the attribute section, so let's go over the resistances. This section is almost completely worthless as well because this does not affect you as much in-game as you might hope it would. However, the only one that does affect you greatly is PvP properties. Morale is actually kind of interesting because this will only affect you in PvP. This replaces your physical and magical defense in determining damage inflicted upon players and onto you. So the more morale you have, the harder you'll hit other players and the less you'll get hit by other players. For now, don't worry about this because you can't even start PvPing until around level 30, so we'll just move on from here. The next up is profile. This is simply what you created under the character menu. So your name, your clan, where you're starting, and your birthday, and so forth. And you can also equip titles. We don't have any titles for now, but later you'll actually receive titles by questing and doing achievements. Next up is your classes. Like I said in my previous video, you can actually be every single class on this one character, and this is how you keep track of it. Right now we're a pugilist at level 1. These bars right next to it, next to level 1 under the name, is actually how much experience points you have. Right now we have 0 of 300. So the farther up this is, the closer we are to the next level. Also, this keeps track of your Disciples of the Hand and Disciples of the Land. Disciples of the Hand are your crafts, and the Disciples of your Land are your gathering skills. We'll talk about this a lot more in a later video, but this is just for your information and how you track what level you are on each class and each craft. Next up is currency. You currently only have guild tracked, but as you can see here, you'll actually get a lot more currencies to track later in the game. You don't need to worry about that for now because you're only level 1, but that's just for your information. The last little tidbit that I'll share with you is this bottom section directly under your character. This is kind of interesting and just fun to know. If you scroll in and look at your weapon, this first one is to hide or display your weapon. So if we click it off, our weapons disappear. If we click it back on, here they're back. This also affects you outside of this character screen. So if we click this off and we look at our character, we have no weapons equipped. But if we go back and put it back on, our weapons are equipped once again. Next up is the same thing for your headgear. We don't have any headgear, so this is not going to help us, but that's just for later information. This is draw and sheath weapons. You'll take them out, make you look sweet, and put them back in. This next one is for gamepads, so I'm not going to explain it because I don't know much about it. So just skip this for now. And this last one is to reset your display. So if we scroll in really, really far into our character, we're like, oh no, we want to be back where it was. Click this, and it'll be directly back. Well guys, that about does it for the character menu. That was a really quick explanation, but I hope it helps you better understand what everything meant under this menu. In my next video, I'm actually going to explain every single starter zone, which is Ul'dah, Limsa, and Gridania. I'm going to show you where every single craft is in every single town, as well as everything you're going to need to know about every single town, such as exits and where quest givers are. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and share for more Final Fantasy XIV content. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter where I post about my upcoming content and answer all of your questions. As always guys, I'll see you next time.